Hello and welcome to Season of War. As our premium team knows, Ridge is bringing down his filthy Fangs of Sotek Seraphon list today.
Bring in the dirt.
Yes, exactly. So we have some filth on filth action today. And actually talking about our premium members, they voted for me to play my Idoneth Deepkin. Wanting to see that, top tier, top of the meta armies facing off against each other. So It'll be a good bloody battle as we get into it.
Yep.
Just a quick note, our premium members, in addition to helping us vote on army selection and matchups and that kind of thing, also have a big role in terms of helping us grow the channel. We have a few membership goals, like we're working on adding new terrain boards that we've unlocked, upgrading our audio equipment, as well as things like unlocking new armies for the channel.
That would be huge.
Eventually getting to the point where we can do multiple battle reports a week. I know a lot of people are asking for that.
Yep.
And really it's going to be our premium members and our premium membership as it grows that'll make it possible for us to do that with your guys' help. So if you want to get involved, hit the join button below the video and we can learn a little more about that. And as you guys know, this table of terrain here is from printable scenery, all 3D printed up, then painted and finished by me. In addition to obviously our Games Workshop fashion terrain. We got a few pieces on the table, all clumped together in this one. But Ridge, do you want to take us through the mission and realm?
Yeah, so we're playing focal points is what we rolled. So pretty much you're scoring 1 for each of your own objectives, 2 for the middle, and then an extra 1 for if you hold both of them on the sides. Yeah. So 1, 2, so 3. And then monsters score an extra 1. Yeah. So the turtle obviously is
hopefully is going to give you an edge here.
The only big boy in this one. So and then we rolled up Ghur for the realm. So the spell is nice. It's wild form, so +2 to run and charge could come in.
I'd love it right now, but no spell casting in my army.
Exactly, yeah. And then so that makes all the terrain deadly. And then the turtle actually with the CP2 is you can fight at your full profile for your turtle. So if you do take wounds, I think you need to take 12 or something before, anyways. But either way,
I think 8. He has to take more than 8.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To drop.
So so it should be good.
And with that, I outdropped you because I have a battalion in my army today. Mm-hmm. And to take you through my list real quickly, I have the Achillean Corps Battalion, which is my Achillean Leviathan, my Alopex in the back, and then my 5 units of Eels, 2 of which are 3s of Ishleyan, and then I have 3 3s of Morsar. Outside of that, I have the Eidolon of the Storm with the Cloud of Midnight. Again, I love that guy. Yeah. +1 to wound is huge. And then the Cloud of Midnight just, combos so well with him. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, 2 units of 3 Aether Wings allied in. And then I have the Achillean King, who is my general, has the Lord of Storm and Sea command ability for Wholly Within 12. He gets +2 to Bravery to Deepkin units. Yep. And then he has the Armor of the Sithé for -1 to hit in combat. And then he has the Mount trait, that's another -1 to hit within 3 inches. So he'll be -2 to hit in combat. So hopefully a little tankier there.
Not planning to be in combat with him.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's worth noting that I am kind of trying out a few different things with this list. Just different ideas I want to try on the table. Again, with having the turtle and the Eidolon being 2 tools you want to take in Deepkin right now, they're both good now and provide different benefits. It is hard to fit them both in the same list. So to fit them in the same list, obviously I'm a little thinner on my Morsar Guard. I only have 3 units of 3. And then I had to drop my Soul Strider, which is, obviously, there's a huge benefit to Soul Strider, giving you the deep strike +3 to charge. Deepkin is very fast, so there's often games where I only really benefit from that +3 or really need it that 1 turn I deep strike.
Yeah.
So trying to play a game without it and see how it goes. But we'll get into this as we get started on the game. And
for sure.
Do you want to take me through your list?
Yeah, so I'm running a very similar list. So it's a Fangs of Sotek list. It's actually the current one that I'm running in the TTS team tournament that we're actually both in. It's essentially Croak, he's got the spell Celestial Equilibrium. So then I got the Starseer. He's got the command trait Nimble, so he's +1 save, +1 move. He's got the spell Hand of Glory. Then I got the Star Priest, who also has Hand of Glory. And then the Skink Priest, who is normal. And then the Ashleth Bear, for obviously with the magic stuff.
For sure.
He's got the Serpent God Dagger if it does come up with the artifact. And then for Battle Line, I have 2 units of 10 Skinks with shields. A unit of 40 Skinks with Moonstone Clubs and Bolt Spitters, unit of 3 Sallies, and then a unit of 20 chameleons. So I haven't ran the 20 chameleons on the channel or even actually in person yet. So yeah,
you've been playing it again on TTS and having some fun with it. And it's got some neat tricks.
A lot of people run it instead of the Sallies, so they'll run like 2 40 blocks and a 20 chameleons. So it's really good. But I just need the -2 rend. I love having the a bit of both. And then I have a CP, Balewind, and extra command point. So very similar to what I usually run with that.
Sounds good. And after deployment, we did choose auxiliary objectives for this game today. The 2 I chose were Domination first, which is killing 3 units in the same turn.
Wow, okay.
Again, choosing these after deployment, I basically had to know what my strategy was going into turn 1, knowing I would have choice of how the game starts. So that's going to play into that. Spoiler, I'm going to take first turn here.
Thinking Alpha's coming.
The mission here really is so condensed that with Croak on the table, in the position that he's in, knowing you can throw Balewind up turn 1, Ridge will be ripping through my army with mortal wounds for 2-3 turns, and it's just game over. So based on the positioning, about halfway through my deployment, I made the decision to take first turn, go all in, try and kill Croak turn 1, and then weather and deal with the other tools as they come. So hoping I'll be able to get that off and kill your 2 stink units and Croak is my goal turn 1 to get that auxiliary objective. And then for my second objective, I chose Pillage, choosing my own boat as my terrain feature. So I just have to end a round wholly within 3 of that.
Automatic. Good chance.
Well, that's the thing. It's especially with going in turn 1, I'm pushing so many things up. I should have multiple units within 3 of that. As long as I have 1 survive through your turn, I should be all right there.
Yeah, so I took a kind of different ones that I normally do. So I took Mark for Death, which I'm just planning to hopefully kill everything. So you're going to have to pick just 1 unit other than a hero that I have to kill. And then I took Prey on the Weak. So that's actually just, I want to go eel hunting. So I want to just kill all of those eels.
Well, because you already want to kill all the eels, I will choose my Mark for Death as my Leviathan.
Cool.
That way you just have to kill more things. You very well could.
Yeah.
In this matchup, you have a lot of firepower. But at least, if I choose a unit of eels, you get that one automatically if you get, the other one.
Yeah, I wanted to take some more interesting ones as well. We're trying. I've never seen Domination, so it's
It'll
fun.
Be fun. Yes. Yes. So as we said, again, I outdropped you here, having the battalion, and again, halfway through deployment, I really just had to make the call, seeing where you were deploying Croak, that I need to get in there. I need to, kill him turn 1, so you're not generating CP. He's not doing his, board wide mortals or the other, just
everything
93 mortal.
When taking that into account too, I did try to screen when I was putting my screens down. I even measured where I put my temple, so I tried to minimize the amount that the eels can get over and get in. So we'll see how
it is going to be tough for me.
Big charge rolls might be.
This is why I said I was already missing my Soul Strider, because the +3 here against your stink units or Croak would be huge. Just make all my charges easier. So I'm going to be a little more reliant, but all my Morsar have rerolls natively, so that's going to help me. But with that, we're expecting a pretty quick game here, one way or the other.
Just different than what we usually do.
So with that, I will be taking first turn, and we'll be going into round 1 with Idoneth Deepkin going first.
All right.
All right, so that was a turn 1. Obviously, like I said, this mission being so close, I had to kill Croak.
Yeah.
If I don't kill Croak, you're just going to go wild on me. I mean, you still potentially will, but you don't have the magic anymore, the mortal wound output. I cut it in half. You still have all your shooting mortals and whatnot. But obviously taking Croak out and your Starseer was both big, really nullifying your CP generation.
Yeah.
So that was big. So I took those 2 out, obviously, and then the 2 units of 10 skinks, meaning I got my domination.
And the Starseer.
Yes, yeah. So I got 4 units, so more than I needed. And then it was also big just taking board control and all the objectives, again, clearing off your little screens. So I'll score 3, 6, 7, 8 points. Could have potentially got 9 with the monster.
Yeah.
I might have been able to stay on the objective and still been within attack range, but I didn't catch that at the time and just maybe slightly piled too far. But may not have been able to get that anyways.
8's a good score.
8's a great score for this mission. I've limited your summoning, obviously taking a huge chunk out of your casting, and your casting output is gone.
CP
in terms of damage.
The big one.
Yeah, your CPs are gone. You're still going to have your teleport. You're still going to have like your run and charge. You're still going to have your 20 chameleons that can just pop up anywhere on the board.
All 3 hammers are still going to be
exactly. So
smashing.
You definitely took a huge hit.
Yeah.
But while this might be like 50% of your army in points, it feels like you still have like 75% of an army on the board. Just with the tools that Seraphon has.
Yeah, big time.
Obviously, my objectives are undefended relatively, but just the fact that I'm towing within 3 inches of the objective means if you do deep strike or teleport, you can't shoot because if you shoot them off, you won't be able to charge onto the objectives. So limits you a little bit. Trying to put you in the toughest position I can, and just obviously got the output I needed into Croak to kill him, which I felt very confident about. You actually negated a huge amount of my damage.
Yeah, it was crazy. The first 3 sets of eels, I think I took 1 wound. I was rolling that 4, I feel no pain, doing it like it was my jab.
And I had 7 mortal wounds from my Morsar Guard. They all used their shocks because then you don't have your armor saves at least. Just another way to get through. You made all of your 4-ups on those mortal wounds.
And the -1 to hit from the garrison really helped because you're hitting on 3s, so it was a lot of hitting on 4s.
So it did definitely impacted me. But I knew I just had to throw volume and I would eventually get through.
Yeah.
I did, and then was also able to kill the Starseer, which is big.
Yes.
But again, scoring 8 points here was huge for me, and we're going to be going into the bottom of the round, and you will have the chance of the double. So that's obviously you're potentially saving grace to really claw back into it and do a ton of damage.
Oh, yes. Let's see.
With that, bottom of round 1, Seraphon turn coming up.
Awesome. All right, we're back. Here we go. So going into this, I knew obviously I'm at a very big at the lower hand here, so I needed to kill as much as I can, having all 3 hammers. So the plan was, yes, bring the salamanders over, drop down the chameleons, try to kill all of the eels on this side. The 40 block can deal with the Morsar here, and then charge the Ishlan. Problem right away is that everything is on a 2-up right now because of the turtle and because of being in cover.
Yes,
so
sir.
the Ishlan are 2-up on rendable, which for my attacks that don't have rend, so my skinks and my chameleon skinks, it doesn't matter. They're the same. They're both, because I don't do rend anyways. With the salamanders, obviously it's better to go into the Morsar. So my plan was to kill the Morsars on the inside and then charge the 2 Ishlan on the outsides. So when I rolled everything out, I rolled super poorly for the skinks.
With their shooting, yeah.
With the shooting was really bad. So I did give them Hand of Glory, so they were rerolling 1s to hit, +1 to hit from one of my CP from the skink priest. And I just botched that. But I've been rolling well earlier, and we were talking about it. Like I wasted all my good rolls essentially.
Trying to keep Croak alive.
Trying to keep Croak alive. So yeah, they didn't do well. The Sallies did really well in their shooting, so I cleared out the 3 of them there. But yes, anyways, I charged them in, and kind of that wasn't the greatest.
Wasn't the best, but again, didn't get many mortal hits through. You only got 1 6 off for the mortals.
Yeah.
And then you had 3 normal hits through, but I made, again, being a base 2 with 2 rend, I was still on a 4-up, and I made all of my 4-ups on 3 hits.
Which is easily happening, obviously. So the plan is going for the double turn. I think in this situation, I would need to. So I planned that out. I did make a mistake here, though we were talking. I don't know if it's a mistake, because I did the math. On average dice, I should have been able to kill, or if not, leave one of the Morsar on one hit, and then charge the Ishlan, which I could have, if I got a decent charge, I could have wrapped and...
But playing for averages, and now this is, obviously, the game is all about reliability. If your average is only 50% of the time, you're getting average, right? Yeah. So 50% of the time, you're going to be under average. Mm-hmm. That's why it's like, a lot of the times I calculate for like how much damage I can do 80% of the time, not just 50% of the time.
Which is very smart. I could have moved.
Would have been safer potentially to just move on to the objective and only try and deal with the Ishlan. Yeah, what we were talking about.
I know, and as soon as you said that, I'm a good roller. I get really lucky a lot, so I just think that they're going to do more damage than they do. Yeah.
But it's one of those things. You also need to kind of play for the long shots in this situation that you're in right now. Yeah. And you store 1 objective point.
Yeah. So I'm going to get a big 1 point. Yep. And then I did make the charge, and I could have done that even after with this movement. But I think because you would have been able to pile in completely with your 3 Ishlan for sure, I don't think it was worth it.
Yeah, you would have lost at least 6 or 8 skinks.
Probably more than that.
You need that attrition throughout the game.
Yeah.
Again, potentially having to spend a command point for Battle Shock.
Exactly.
For 1 victory point, I decided
it wasn't worth it, so I'm playing obviously for the double here. So
that said, just talking through before we get into it, because obviously this is turn 1. If I win priority, my game plan here would basically be kill your heroes, kill your salamanders, which I could effectively do without even engaging your 40 block of skinks. Mm-hmm. So if I win priority, it would be game over. Yeah, more than likely.
I would concede.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we'll roll priority, but either way, we are going to play as if Ridge wins priority, but I'll just have, if I win the roll, we'll have said the win's done with.
Yeah.
But priority first.
So this still matters.
A 3.
Rock. The rock 4.
Hey, 5. So Ridge wins. So it is not decided yet. And I assume we're going to go into Seraphon turn 2.
Let's go, dice. Come on. Right. Alrighty. What happened here? So, was thinking pretty much similar to last turn. I needed to deal with the 2 units of eels. I need to deal with things that are going to score. Successfully shot and killed with the salamanders. The Sallies didn't do exactly what I wanted. I think they left one of the eels on 1 wound, but at the end of it worked out.
Dead.
It worked out how I wanted it to work out over here.
Yep.
I'm trying to kind of push this side as well to at least be able to threaten that later turns. And then on this side, I wasn't completely sure going in. I rolled a lot better for the shooting, so they did take out the Ishlan. And then I did +1 for my run and charge constellation, and then I rolled a 5 though. So I only was charging 6. We went back and forth, and I kept thinking about this so much.
Tough decision.
I'm such a tough spot. So I knew I wanted to have both my heroes here and here. So if you do come at charge me, I will have the parting shot.
Yeah.
If
anything I send in there is at huge risk. Yeah.
So there's that, and I know I'm taking the point because I have obviously went on to the with my movement instead of that. So it just came down to if I did make the charge, I could have possibly killed. But
actually, with only a 6, you weren't getting many bodies in. We were looking at 2.
It would have. I think it was.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you're also potentially getting hit first there. If you do kill the Morsar, the turtle's getting all of its attacks into you.
Yes. Which,
if you don't, they're hitting you.
Exactly. And then I was like, no, I want to go in because next turn I'm going to get hit by both of them now anyways. But at least I can have a parting shot.
And I can't get if you had have charged in, I could have potentially gotten your heroes without tagging your skinks.
Yeah.
And then the skinks aren't really doing much the rest of the game.
Exactly. And they are huge. And with the 6 up.
Yeah.
So it's still
tough spot.
Yeah. Eidolon and everything. It's like this. Yeah. Right away, that alpha just really, really got me. But it's still, I can still do some trickery with the parting shot. And the Sallies are still good here. And they're +1 save. So I don't know.
Still gonna have play.
Still a bit of play.
It'll be a big turn for me. And then obviously into round 3 also. But we'll see what we can do here with Deepkin turn 2 coming up.
Alrighty.
All right. So bottom of turn 2, Deepkin turn. Obviously, run and charge here. I have the mobility to get around the board.
Yeah.
Based on your positioning, you had all your heroes over there, so one, you had your parting shot with your command point remaining, so that wasn't really worthwhile for me to go into. But being that you had no hero here, I wanted to go in and take care of these 2 threats, and you would have the movement to get over there. And then you didn't have a hero. Should any have survived for Battle Shock, I knew they were all going to run, pretty much.
Especially just the Sallies, pretty much. That's it.
But setting up my combat phase, I got my shark in range to shoot his harpoon, making sure the salamanders wouldn't be able to pile in during the combat phase. Also, he was wholly within 12 of the turtle in case I needed to reroll that shot from the battalion.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yep. So it makes that one net shot more reliable for sure.
Nice.
Already, especially rerolling ones from the Italian King or Volturnos, where now it becomes I can reroll the 2 also.
Yeah, nice.
Getting that off was huge. It let me really kind of just spread out around the skink accessories to your salamanders, and then into the chameleon skinks.
Yeah.
And then just in terms of order of activation, able to just chew through everything.
Yeah.
Nothing survived, so no battle shocks to worry about. So a pretty decisive end to this turn.
Yeah.
And this also means I score 3 points for this side with a bonus 1 for the turtle.
Yep.
2 for the middle because they still control that, putting me at 6 with 1 remaining here, 7.
Yep.
Putting me up at 15, and that's a big lead, 15-3 right now. And I think we were just talking, it's
definitely safe to call it here.
Yeah. Just the points advantage. While you still have a powerful unit in the skinks, again, there's just not much you can do. No real chance of a double turn anymore, even if you win priority here. Also, keeping in mind I could win priority, and but I think even if you're able to kill stuff, there's a chance that you could play for your auxiliary objectives of going for those units.
Trying to kill the eels, I might, if I got turn, I could possibly
kill the eels. I don't think you could kill the eels and the turtle.
No, and not even probably. Well, yeah, I don't know. Either way.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty safe for us to wrap it up here. Again, good chance that you could probably actually, let's roll priority here. Yeah. Just to talk it through.
1.
6. So no chance for you to get your auxiliaries here. No. I can basically just run those units away, turtle around. I really don't even need to
put them in the middle and put everything around.
Exactly.
Even teleport.
Wherever you go, I can just send Aether Wings or something out. You're not going to be able to kill what you want. I still have Cloud of Midnight on my big guy. So
it's just the beginning.
This is a decisive.
How many times?
Tough.
So it came down to losing Croak and being alpha'd. I've been alpha'd so many times, like we were just talking about with Seraphon. If you play for round 2, round 3, round 4, you can always do get all that damage off and
your
still,
summons
and doing everything. It's just losing Croak turn 1. That's never happened to me, and I obviously when I'm doing my measurements, I didn't completely account for the full alpha, which, and I know we've talked in tournaments and stuff like that, usually like the last one we played in, I was alpha'd by Iron Suns and in that same type of situation. Sorry everyone. This is like such a good matchup that
you don't say sorry. Everyone's loving it.
No.
Loving seeing Croak die, turn him on.
I just hate that. This is such a good matchup. Jordan is so veteran with the Deepkin. Like you're such a good player with them, and just me making that mistake in turn 1 just I really wish I could have been better game. But
and even not again, we haven't played this exact matchup with your Fangs list that many times, maybe 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
But none of them have I ever gone this hard turn 1 alpha. No. And realistically, I don't think I've gone turn 1 alpha like actually in over a year, just because it's not actually very fortuitous unless your opponent makes a mistake.
Yes.
And in this case, I knew you were going to put Croak in the terrain piece more than likely, and just how close it was to the edge, I knew it would have a good chance. But I left all my damage units for the second half of my deployment to see where Croak went, to see where your strings were. And as soon as I saw those things, then I put, after having all my defensive units down first, I put all my offensive units on the line, right in the center.
As soon as I saw you put the one Morsar unit off camera, I was just like, okay, so you're going first, obviously. And then immediately I was like, shit.
But again, that's a play I think I have to make here.
Yeah.
If you put Croak back more defensively, it lets me probably sit back turn 1, give away the turn. I don't have to do that. But because Croak was so aggressive, it meant realistically, even giving you the turn, you're hitting 3, 4, 5 of my units with mortal wounds and, doing 3 to 9 mortals to each of those, even 4 to 12.
Even behind this, like if I started Croak behind the pyramid, Bale-winded here. I'm 22 to the middle.
Yeah, you'd be hitting the middle for sure, but that's where I could give you the turn. I'm not on the middle yet, and then still have the chance for a double. I think it's a tougher game for sure. I think there's a lot more that can go wrong. But I went for obviously the alpha, the decisive play here, wanting to get everything in, and even with you winning priority in the double, you just didn't have the output back.
No,
largely because of my turtle.
Yes,
and
the turtle.
Both turn one. On your turn, everything was on a 2-up save. And then on your turn, everything was still on a 3-up save. Yeah. So your salamanders, while they chew through stuff in the mortals, I was making 2-3 of the saves, and that just hurts so bad for your damage output. Yeah,
the turtle was huge, exactly, with the +1 save, being in cover turn 1. Yeah, like there's so many good mechanics. Like Deepkin are so good. I know Seraphon are very good as well.
Yeah.
So that's why this is such a good matchup, and I just wish I didn't make that mistake.
But and that's the thing, Deepkin are able to capitalize on positioning mistakes. Right?
Oh yes.
And that's not to put too blunt a point on that. But it just let me try to do everything I wanted to.
Yeah.
You only had 2 screens that again easily took out with defensive eels, which again put out damage pretty well.
Yep.
They got on those points, and then also had unrendable things for you to try and deal with, which was again hard for your salamanders.
And even target priorities, like what else to try to shoot this down? Try to shoot everything's 2-up. Like
it's so congested. In addition, Croak
is the answer to that. Like that's what I mean.
Exactly.
Like Celestial Deliverance to all those units.
That would have been huge.
2 rounds of that would have been.
But that's why I had to kill him.
You're absolutely right.
And especially setting up the game with my boat placement here. I knew it was going to kind of let me fight. We're going to be fighting over the middle of this mission, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And especially I want to keep you back, so we're fighting on your objectives. And setting up the boats here, all game, everything had 6-up saves, for the ward save. So just hugely positioning around those was to my advantage. Definitely a tough spot overall.
Yes.
Talking about, again, your auxiliaries, with me winning priority, I can, again, deny you from storing yours.
Yep.
But for mine, I stored domination at the start of the game. Turn 1, again, killing 4 units was 1 extra. And then end of the round, I had a bunch of units within 3 of this terrain piece. So would have stored pillage at the end of round 1 also.
Yep. And there's no way I'm going to kill even the turtle because, no rend. The mortal's even on the wounds. Yeah, it's not going to do it.
It's tough.
So 20-0.
Yeah, but you did kill, 12 eels.
I tried to
in 2 turns is huge, right?
Yeah.
And if not for how punishing of hits, I guess both turn 1 and turn 2. That is crippling, but
I wanted to go eel hunting, and I did, but not fully enough.
12 of 15, almost. But
I still hate them the most, I think, of every war scroll in Deepkin, so it's somewhat minor.
You can't hate the turtle and the Eidolon because they're such beautiful models.
They're so amazing. I love them.
But again, like the turtle doing work, both impact hits with the mortals. The save is huge. He basically has the same points cost and output of 6 Morsar. But obviously way less flexible.
Yeah, the 2 turtle list is a thing too. I know some people run that in the TTS stuff that we've seen. I don't know. I've seen
it's cute. It lets you have 2 defensive blocks, but it's not going to be advantageous all the time. You're not going to be able to maximize it as much. And the thing with the turtle is it really limits where you can spread out. Obviously, compared to like the list I recently played, the pure Morsar spam, that can spread out way more than this can. But again, that list can't take a hit. This list can, and it can take a double against Seraphon. Assuming it killed Croak turn 1.
Yeah, assuming you kill Croak.
Otherwise is another story.
Yeah, either way, awesome.
Yeah, great game. Obviously happy with the outcome for Deepkin in this one. I have a hatred for Seraphon.
We have a hatred for each other's armies. Yes. I like Deepkin. I wanted to play them, but playing against them is maybe one of the most frustrating. Like the shooting mechanic.
They're tough.
The way they can do everything. They're a really good army.
Similar to Seraphon, they pose a lot of problems. Especially in the movement game. So lots to deal with.
Yep. But hopefully we can maybe, once the points are all changed around, and we can have some type of rematch or some type of game and where Croak doesn't die.
Yeah, we'll see. But with that, we'll wrap up the game here. As always, a huge thank you to our premium members on YouTube. You guys really make everything happen with the channel, choosing this matchup, helping us decide on new terrain and boards, as well as unlocking some of the other goals like upgrading our mics, which is super exciting for us. We're also going to be potentially adding a new army to the rotation that's going to be voted on by our premium members.
That will be crazy.
And then the big goal right now is eventually to get to doing 2 battle reports a week. We've had a ton of feedback of people just want to see more content, and we would love to put it out. With life and full-time jobs, we have to grow the channel sustainably, but with your guys' help, we'll eventually get there.
And babies too, don't
yes,
forget.
Lots of
babies.
Yeah, babies take lots of time. But again, thanks to everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this battle report, and we'll see you next time.